All right, we are back. We are back. Hopefully, everybody got their fill of watching grown men run around in their underwear this weekend on your TV, and then predicting the next 4 years of their future based on 5 to 6 metrics of it. We will not be talking combine today, but we'll hit that on off and on the clock. We got a really exciting week planned. Today, we'll be talking some real sports that are taking place today. We will be talking some NBA 6 game there. And then we got Wednesday, we'll do off and on the clock. We'll talk some combine stuff, jump back into the big board stuff there. So we can't make fun of it for too long. And then Friday, very important show coming up Friday. We got a very special guest. T-Box himself is going to be joining us on Friday, and a special surprise that goes along with that. So big fun week coming up here, but it starts with the biggest surprise of all. I don't even recognize this man. Who is this guy?
Oh, we're so back. Muted
Muted and everything. He puts me on the full screen. Oh my gosh. I'm looking down for a second. All of a sudden I'm like, oh goodness gracious, what's that ugly mug doing up there? What's good, fellas?
I did not recognize this man. It's been a minute since he's been on the show, but I did not recognize with the new salad. And I gotta say, Neumy, I didn't know you were this handsome, dude.
Nezi hit me with this is giving me like early 2022 vibes when like me and him did a couple like shows, best ball shows. And then, dude, speaking of just not recognizing me, 2 quick stories. Hilarious. The second, so I'm getting my phone switched out, getting it upgraded to a new one that my fiance had, just going that route rather than having to buy a new one. Like, hey, she keeps regenning them from work. I'm just going to get that. Dropped it off pre-haircut. Get the haircut. And you guys know how long the hair was.
Oh, yeah.
Come back. The dude's like, hey, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was just here. And he's like, oh, like, and he's like, what? Like, and he was really confused. Like, what can I help you with, basically? And I'm like, I just got my haircut. I was the guy. He goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he did not recognize me at all. Good. Literally an hour and a half. It was just, yeah. And then
damn near once in a lifetime opportunity to do that to somebody.
Right across the street, who I go and I get, we have like a Speedway there. It's just a gas station. We have rewards. So I get like certain, like, eggs, milk, like bottled water there. We get like discounts. So we go there every week. The guy that's normally there recognized me. He has like certain mannerisms and phrases that he says to people that he recognizes. And it's funny. He did not. He stared into my soul like he did know me, but didn't know me. The whole interaction was creepy. And then he just like, all right, like, have a good day. And he normally says like, have a good day, dog, to me. And it was like,
he didn't give you the dog.
And I was just like, hey, by the way, like, I got a haircut. And he goes, my man. It was the best thing ever. And
that's pretty good.
And he goes, dude, I was staring at you hard. I'm like, yeah, I felt like eyes in the back of my like neck the entire time. It was great. So rather to hijack that for a couple minutes, it was hilarious. Yeah, Neumy looks like a human. Hilarious.
Off right now. I love this one. New year, new me.
Dude, you don't even. I have played it out to a million times. I've been like to my fiance, I'm like, don't I look like a new man? It's just terrible.
She's gonna call off the big day, man.
I know. It's terrible.
Don't push your luck.
Terrible. Oh man.
Oh, that's great.
It's been great. It's been great. Yeah, and I got it. I like the hair like around 2 to 3 months is like when I think it looks the best. So I got it chopped at this time frame. So come wedding time in like 2.5 months, it's that pristine looking good and to get it touched up. So
yeah, you don't want that completely fresh cut for the wedding. You want it to be like aged a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. How's you guys' weekend and stuff like that? You guys enjoy some spring training baseball? Have any success in the hoop stuff, Nez? I did not. I was at a 4 and a 6-year-old's birthday party yesterday, a Taylor Swift themed birthday. So I did not get my hoops drafts in yesterday. So I didn't even see the leaderboard. Any success there?
No, and possibly tilting in the hoop streets. I had on Saturday night a team with, or maybe it was Friday night, the night where Nurkic got hurt in at half and didn't come back, and he had 30 fantasy points at halftime, gets hurt, and I had 30% Nurkic, didn't win that night, didn't win last night, and I had 37% Nurkic there, and he had 30 boards. and minus 50% because I was so heavy on Trey Jones. But highest owned player was Nurkic last night and didn't get home. But we have another good slate today, man. I am still like the heater may have tapered off. The confidence is unwavering.
It's not wavering.
Good about I can't help but feel like my process was fine, even though I was losing.
One Trey Jones slate ain't gonna hold my man down.
Fuck no. We got Taylor Hendricks on the slate today, baby. We're just
I love it.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, is that Neumy? So good.
It's good. No, it's hilarious.
People asking about the Taylor Swift party. Yes, Travis Kelce was involved in the Taylor Swift party. There was a trivia thing that included a football portion. So you just truly took care of business on that one.
Up against the other toddlers.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hop in here. I really wanted to take advantage of the Pick'em thing because there is a flash sale right now with 4 or 5 of them. I will pull it up right now. And I just wanted to get that in there to see if we could get any CLV right now on potentially the moving pieces associated with Utah. That's kind of where my mind's at. You guys feel similarly there?
I think that's a good first read for sure. My initial look at Sexton is like, damn, is this including Keontae George's news? Because if not, then damn.
Okay.
He's got some fat lines, man.
Okay, which is your favorite of the discount ones to add in here?
Yeah, we should talk about these discount ones. All of these feel like, I don't know, Jim. Like, I think if I had to choose, it would definitely be Shea.
Okay.
But they're all
I'm good
all
with
pretty
it.
close.
Neumy, do you have a lean?
Honestly, if I were to go, and this is really gutting me to say this, but I think I'm going to go with DeMar.
Ooh, I was about to say, if you don't go Ant, like we're not back at all. If you just had to go Ant, and be like, we're back.
Well, I don't know if you've heard he lacks a certain word, a ceiling. So
yeah,
don't want to go with Ant. I need to go with the guy that has the middest of all mid ceilings, and that's DeMar DeRozan.
Okay. Let's do it. 2 votes DeRozan. Then I like the DeRozan one better than the SGA one. Let's start with the Sexton. I like that shout right now. Which one were you looking at in particular, Nez?
I mean, I knew I liked Sexton tonight, but I didn't see these projections, and they're all pretty loaded. So I don't know that I have like a strong lean, but if I was to take him, I would probably just like do the points or
I like the points.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, the points seems best to me there. Was there anything nice for Collins and Vooch as well? That's the other one I was looking at. And I like Keegan Murray as well.
Keegan, what's the Keegan Murray thesis tonight?
Chicago's really bad against the catch and shoot stuff. And like you get a little boost if Fox isn't in, but I do think Fox plays, and I still think it's a good matchup for him.
I thought we were just following the flow chart, and that is when Keegan doesn't have to run around and guard the best player out there, he actually gets to put a little offensive production out there and not just be gassed running around guarding the best player the entire time.
Well, hey man, the Bulls have 3 best players, so he's really screwed.
Well, when they're like 33 plus years old, I mean, they're already going to be gassed themselves, so he's good there. You know what I mean? That's the interpretation I take from it.
I love this. DeMar needs double overtime to get there.
He does.
So good. The X-touts are in the different camp than us. Well, shove it. X-touts. Run good, Rick. That we're zigging when everybody zags.
Sometimes you just gotta like not overthink it. That's what I've been doing lately. I stopped overthinking it and not caring about the inflation that some of these projections get based on spots and just like saying screw it. Like if I like the player and I like the matchup, I'm going in, and that's been working. that's been working out. So I'm gonna continue to do that.
There is no Keegan Murray stuff because the people are shook right now. Neumy was so shook. I was coming in here with the Keegan stuff that he took it down right before the stream started.
Oh come on, bro! You know we gotta wait for that Fox news.
Yeah, Vince, I kind of like. and Claxton I kind of like. Both as points ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you want to put Claxton putting the ball in the hole on a pick'em?
No, I want the Claxton boards one. Claxton boards and the Vince Williams points.
What do they got for Claxton boards?
10.5.
I think it was 11. 10.5.
Oh, so Neumy, are we getting a change coming down the pipe?
No. All
right, let's just. I want to rapid fire a $10 pick 'em off the top.
When do we ever rapid fire anything, John? Like, be real.
Yeah, one. Yeah, true. One, and then all of a sudden you're throwing out plays like Nick Claxton, and we're like, okay, well, these aren't rapid fire. These are let's think about this for a little bit.
I like the thesis. I like the thesis. We've been saying that Memphis can't rebound, so I think that makes sense.
Ooh, Taylor Hendricks double.
See that I saw that one. Our boy Winky liked that one, and Winky and I are on the same page. Like, I love the Jazz. I love teams against the Wizards, and there's there's some major pieces out for the Jazz as well. It was another part of this thesis.
Yeah, Kessler's out and Markkanen's out. Yeah,
Shotgun himself. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, the shotgun's out of ammo today.
Oh no!
This is how I feel. This is why Clarkson's on the cover.
It's going to be an awesome game, man. It's gonna be sick. I like the Hendricks double, to be honest.
Dude,
okay, Hendricks, Claxton, Sexton, and one more.
Cam Johnson.
I like Cam Johnson better than the Dennis Smith stuff.
Yeah, what do they have?
Or the Vince Williams one. Do you guys like the Vince Williams one I threw out?
I love Vince Williams, but this is not.
Okay, sell me on Cam Johnson for any category here.
I don't know what Cam Johnson necessarily does better than other categories. I just know that Cam Johnson without Ben Simmons, without Cam Thomas equals good play. I would probably just take the points, because that's really what opens up the most, in my opinion, with Cam Thomas out is, they don't really have a primary scorer.
50x. Let's go.
Sheesh. Share that.
50x on max $10. We'll throw that one in there. That's the bro science greater than real science.
You really just like, I mean, you earn your living as a content creator out there. You really got to be just an anti-fun person to say Jazz without Markkanen, Keontae George, late Q tag illness to take a lower on Colin Sexton. I'm sorry. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy my life. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I like that one.
I two phrases that just came out of your mouth in the last 5 minutes are, I like to have fun and enjoy my life. And then also just attributed a Wizards and Utah Jazz game is, this is going to be great. This is going to be real fun.
Because it is going to be great.
It's just so funny. Oh, man. And I get it from a fantasy lens. Yeah. All of us, you know, when you're talking to a fantasy bro, when they bring up it's Utah and Washington, they're like, yeah, this is going to be electric. And it's just like, everyone's like, what? Yeah. Like, you said what now? Like,
because it will be, baby.
It's the best.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about the slate in general. Nez, how many have you got under your belt thus far?
Only like 5, but I did 1 pick and roll and 2 crossovers because I just wanted to like stake my claim in the plays that I really liked with like high dollar amounts for now. And then after I talk with you guys, then I'll start blasting off at the main slate a little bit more. But for now, I just kind of staked my claim in some takes.
I'm trying to figure out why these aren't fitting on the screen so well.
The rebrand, the RG rebrand's got us in a tizzy here.
Yeah, so RG rebrand
blender.
have to pull up Fantasy Labs to get team totals and spreads and stuff, because they, for whatever reason, they still have the starting lineups there, but they ripped away the spreads.
I know, we got to do math.
Yeah.
they want us to.
You want me to do it in my head? Like, come on now. I'm not smart enough for that.
There's got to be a quick calculator that they could just, the little box that appears or just makes that spread there.
Yeah. We have 2 team totals on the slate that are under 100. We got Grizz and Portland as that. And then we got, as you alluded to, this kind of like pace up fantasy gold with missing bodies in the Jazz and Wizards game there. And then outside of that, like injury report wise, LeBron kind of looks like a fake Q IMO. The Giannis one seems real to me because it's a new injury designation there. And then Clippers came back with everybody in other than Russ, who fractured his hand last night there. Would not be surprised if we got a late Q from Minnesota, just given the quality of the opponent, some of the coach speak, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's kind of like the macro lay of the land. Where you want to start, Nez?
The honest Q tag, like you said, does concern me because, like you said, it's a new one. It's for an Achilles, or at least that's what the initial blurb said. So that does kind of bother me. I'm not in love with that. I mean, and on top of the fact that we know, like, Giannis, on one hand, it feels like he's kind of rugged us on games where it seems like he would sit, and on the other hand, it seems like he's like not afraid to sit. So I can't fade him at the moment, but I do think this is a real 50-50 shot.
Okay. So with that in mind, have you done any pushing up of Dame? Have you done any of the Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez stuff on the back end? And how far do you push Giannis down your ranks? 80 number 1 for both of you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. Neumy?
Yeah, it would be 81.
Okay.
I think Giannis 3.
Giannis 3? Okay. So you have SGA or Sabonis over him?
SGA for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't argue it. I like it. But I think if we feel that he's a true 50-50, it feels like maybe we should be doing something a little bit more with Dame and some of the auxiliary pieces, because those feel very palatable. And maybe you just end up getting like 100% of Giannis swaps end up going to like Bobby Portis or something. I don't think Bobby Portis starts regardless, but maybe they go to like Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis. That will be the swap rankings. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should get it.
And
it'll be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just the no-brainer. It just depends. Like, get your Giannis. Like, when you're getting your Giannis, depends. Like, if you're going to get Bobby Portis, because you're going to have that swap option to him for the 1-for-1. I would be fine with that. Just looking at what he's put up so far in his last 3 games, and then just with Giannis out. I mean, yeah, no-brainer swap there. Oh, I mean, if I'm doing a portfolio, it's just like you just get Giannis, and then the non-Giannis drafts, you just decide, is this gonna be one where you push up Dame and you push up the other guys and you make that lineup, or do you just build it out where Giannis plays and everyone just kind of fails? I mean, it's still kind of a iffy game with LA, with the Clippers defense and just being the Clippers.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them hold the T-Wolves to 88 points last night.
Yeah, I mean, the T-Wolves are just, their offense is awful. It's not awful. It's just sometimes they look lost. They look like a D3 basketball teams playing D1, and all of a sudden they have a zone they've never seen, and they just don't know how to play. Like I'm it's truly like for 2 quarters, it just is like, whoa, what happened? Like what's going on? So I mean, it just, and it's always been like that in the lull, but its point still stands. The Clippers defense is for real. So
yeah, I'm not like super pumped about this game, really. Yeah, I got SGA 2 because of it.
Cool. Yeah. I like it. Do you guys agree with my synopsis on LeBron just playing the Q tag? It's not a back-to-back. They don't have back-to-backs for a while. Yeah.
They kind of have to win games. So I think, this is a bit of a marquee matchup, at this stage of the playoff picture for them. You don't really need to spin like crazy narratives to think that LeBron plays tonight. Like they want to make the playoffs. This is a good opponent. They need LeBron here.
Yeah, like we're slowly pushing into silly season a little bit here, but I mean, like they got to win now, man. Like, especially on these games where they're non-back-to-backs versus like opponents that they're not direct, like, you know, what we call 4-point games or whatever, but they're getting pretty close to that territory.
Like they're 5.5 games up on the play-in from Utah. Like, barring an epic collapse and Utah and Houston being the only two that can bump them out, they're going to be in the play-in. It's just, are they going to be 10th? What's it going to look like? You know what I mean? So they are going to be vying for, like, and they're only 3.5. They're only 3.5 games from technically not even being in the play-in. So they are fighting for something. They are in the thick of it, like trying to fight for that seed. So just go ahead. Yep.
From 5 to 10 in the West, like, we're going to see them really put the pedal down because they're all separated by like 4 games. And, you know, if you can fade that play in, you want no part of that.
Correct. And it's, I mean, just the whole thing is going to be, I mean, I'm not getting into this playoff scenarios and all that. Yeah. And I think, where was it? Yeah. Brad's comment with the Jazz already tanking. I agree. I mean, just looking at that, I don't see the Jazz or Rockets sneaking in unless we see just that weird run where it's like, you know, Lakers go on 5 losing, Jazz win 5 straight, and it's closer than we think. I think they're solidified in there, but they don't want to be the 10th seed. They don't want to just go in and having to just win, and then go play the 1 seed. You know what I mean?
Of course. And I think it helps too. I mean, not that like they need any more motivation to not be the play-in, but when you have the Suns right now with the Beal injury and also just like, or not the Beal injury, I apologize. The Booker injury. The Mavericks, I mean, losing at home to the Sixers like yesterday. I mean, these teams are slipping. They can get some ground here. So just on the whole.
Just to wrap it all up, like, LeBron's playing, in my opinion, and he's going to continue to play unless it's that actual injury like a year or 2 ago where he actually needed to be sit, like he injured himself. Otherwise, you're just going to get the LeBron Q tag and the AD Q tag and the occasional AD sit maybe. Otherwise, it's going to be until LeBron, like until he's going to play almost every game except maybe a back-to-back. Like, they need them all.
Okay.
So,
yeah, and they don't have a back-to-back for a while. I was kind of like looking there. Okay. Next big decision.
Why is that? Why do the Lakers not have a back-to-back with the remaining stretch of the schedule?
Why do they get to the free throw line 20 more times than every other opponent ever? Oh yeah. Who knows?
Oh man.
They're just still making up for the Chris Paul veto of the trade.
David Stern's a real one for that. Long live, rest in power.
Yeah. Next kind of like tier break for me is this little section here, and then I guess you could put Fox in here. If Fox plays, would you push him up over this tier tonight, just given the spot in the matchup, or do you think it's enough of a slow matchup against Chicago that you kind of like those other 3 more?
It's hard for me to push him up there just because I hate when Chicago's on the slate so much. I mean, his recent form, Fox, has been just like incredible, but hard to put him over Kawhi on any matchup. And against the Blazers, that's tough. And it's hard for me to get him over Kuzma too. Kuzma tonight is in a fantastic spot. So
yeah,
I think this makes sense.
There. We put him on the cover because I fully agree with you. Like, it just feels like, not going to say can't miss, but it just feels so good.
Oh yeah, he can miss. Yeah. He can miss. Even in the most absolute layup spots, he can miss. What's interesting really quickly is that his PRA is one stat different. It's 33.5. Sexton's 32.5. And
he goes
Kuzma goes 11
points later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we are like market movers necessarily on this show, but like, man, the Sexton ADP is ridiculous right now. It is ridiculous.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, we could just talk through that game in general and talk through him, because I kind of low-key like a soft fade of him at ADP in that middle there. And then I like getting some of those back end, like Jordan Clarkson, Chris Dunn at like lower ownership kind of thing. And I kind of like the John Collins spot a little bit more than I like the Sexton spot. But I'm obviously mixing both.
Yeah, if there's no Keontae George, Sexton is gonna. Nobody else is gonna touch the ball for more than like a second. Like it's gonna be all Sexton all the time, unless he's kicking for a quick shot or a ball's off the rim, and then Collins is putting it up for a quick putback. He's going to absolutely dominate the ball. That's what he does. That's his whole game. That's and with no marketing as well to be out here to like dominate, like, or to warrant some shots up. It's gonna be insane how many shots Sexton's going to get up. So, I mean, I hear you. I think that those other players are also very good plays. You cannot soft fade Sexton at this ADP. I'm sorry. It just that it just does not make sense. He's not a pick 13 or 14. He's pick 21.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And his
projection
is going to get more ridiculous.
Yeah, fair enough.
Young bull. He's when he was over
bull
there,
indeed, baby.
Yeah, maybe when he was in Cleveland, I loved him, and now he had that. Was it an ACL? Like, I'm good to see him back and just getting the mins. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I didn't consider Ricky's comment there.
Oh yeah, it's THT night. THT gonna start
playing way too much for my liking lately.
Yeah,
dude, I still can't get over when I forget who the comment was, but THT was regarded as like one of them, just going to be like someone had a most outlandish take where THT was being compared to like some of the all-time greats. Like, look probably at what this kid's going to go out and ball. I need to find it. It was
probably me.
Maybe Chip can find it for me. Maybe I'm absolutely crazy, but yeah, it could just be you. It could have just been Nezi out there from the timeline.
Yeah. There's one in the chat I want to hit on. I want to just say that Fox did go through shoot around. This is the third straight game which he's gone through shoot around, and he went through shoot around and pregame warmups of both those last two, and then wound up sitting. It's the latest game on the slate. There's potential that you rip the swap options away if Murray and Monk start going. There is more risk in taking Fox tonight because basically everyone goes from Chicago and everyone goes from the Kings. So it's kind of a weird situation, is it not?
Yeah, no, that's definitely like part of the nuance of this. What I will say is your boy Keegan Murray goes undrafted most of the time. So
yeah, it's hit or miss, to be honest. But yeah.
So you do have shots at that. If Fox doesn't go, then yeah, you're looking at like you're looking at an L on the slate, essentially.
Yeah. So I that's basically all I wanted to illuminate was like if we start getting steam around like Monk and Keegan Murray in these draft rooms and stuff, you'll be left holding the bag with Fox unless he gets ruled out before 5 p.m. Eastern, because those are the late games. And basically everyone from the Lakers goes, and you'd be swapping for Rui. And then if for whatever reason LeBron didn't end up going, you'd be fighting over swaps with the LeBron person at a worse price. So like you'd be in dire straits when you just go ahead and look at like these last two games on the slate. You'd be thinking about like Kevin Huerter and Josh Giddey, and by that time, I think you might be toast.
Mm-hmm. Good thing we're just gonna do a little manifesting, and you're just gonna draft Aaron Fox, and you're gonna manifest that he plays and reap the rewards. So simple enough.
Is he gonna get that?
Let him know.
Alex Caruso treatment tonight?
Oh,
well, yeah, Caruso's got the Q tag too. So the Caruso one's really interesting because I saw it mentioned in the chat. Who said I'm blind now?
Somebody
Run Good Rick's bringing up the Drummond one, and people love to play Drummond. Obviously, he's like a 1.2 fantasy point per minute monster. We love when they go with the double big lineups and stuff like that. This does not feel like the spot that you can play double big. Like, even if Caruso's out. Like this, I see Drummond's ADP at 29, and I've taken him 0 times today in my, like, I don't even know how many I've done, like 20 or something like that. I don't see it. I don't see how you play the double big lineup, even if Caruso's out against the Kings.
Yeah, I don't know either, unless like Trey Lyles is getting like mad minutes for whatever reason. They could force the issue. They can be like, hey, guess what? Like, we are gonna the matchups don't work, but God damn it, we're gonna force Drummond into this lineup and see what happens. I'm with you. I don't know how that would make sense.
The only counter argument to it is that the Bulls don't have enough like bodies to run small if Caruso's out, right? Because then it goes, because they're missing
the team, baby.
Who?
Exactly, but he's been playing on the team.
Who was the name? Oh yeah, like I was thinking of Torrey Craig because they would sometimes slot him in. So they're also missing Torrey Craig. So yeah, I don't know. I maybe they have to force the issue to then play two bigs. I just was thinking about it through the lens of Drummond's ADP. It's one of my least favorite on the slate.
Yeah, conversely, I like Vooch tonight, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a really good conversation. Yeah. Well, what's up with Vooch? What are you seeing? What do you like?
I just tend to enjoy a guy like Vooch in like a very appealing spot, especially against the Kings. Really enjoy him tonight. Just thinking that he can just have a very, very efficient outing. Hopefully, it's not one of those like, why is it there 10 minutes left? 10 minutes gone in the first and Vooch has no points type of outing. That seems that just seems like far-fetched here, especially against these Kings, man. The Bulls play a lot of minutes, getting a little run down.
I will.
Strong. Many are saying he's not afraid of Domantas Sabonis down there in the paint.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Wouldn't be if I was.
One little nugget from the ETR matchups stuff that they were talking about with Vooch is he actually leads. He leads since the All-Star break. Leads big men in front court touches.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I found shocking. Like I we talk about Vooch all the time. And I found that one very surprising.
Yeah, I don't think of him like that.
Yeah, right? Like, you think about, like, a guy like Sengun like that, where the offense runs through him. But, I don't know, I haven't watched a lot of Bulls games in the last couple of days. So that's a Gallagher nugget, not a me or us nugget there that I had no idea about. So that's making him look more interesting to me.
Yeah, good shout.
Here's aforementioned T-Box popping through. Here, T-Box will be with us on Friday for a special surprise and just talking everything Underdog there. Yeah, I didn't recognize Neumy either. Anything you want to say on Thunder Lakers, guys, or anything else you guys want to hit on? I'll drop some other random names from some of these other games that I was thinking through and get your guys' feelings, but anything Thunder Lakers?
I like the game, I think it goes without saying. Pretty nice total. Pretty good players in these spots here. I'm taking a lot of J-Dub. Hopefully we get a ceiling game from him. He is hasn't cracked 40. It feels like in a couple games, but I'm still going strong on him. And then I think Reeves goes ahead of D'Lo tonight.
Yeah, one spot. Yeah,
love that. Thank you. I'll take D'Lo all day there.
We flipped the narrative on Bean Reeves, guys.
We finally got the flippening to happen. Now it's time to rug. On top, so we also just got Watanabe doubtful tonight
for the Grizz there. So man. So important to note that JJJ is doubtful. He's not actually out yet. So we could get rug pulled there, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, that'd be kind of like nightmare fuel scenario. But yeah, what does that mean? That means some front court of Aldama and Lamar Stevens, and that's kind of it. Trey Jameson.
Yeah, I kind of understand your Nick Claxton love now. I'm not gonna lie. Now that we dug a little deeper into that, I get it.
Yeah,
I get that.
The Grizzlies players that do play are like fun for fantasy though. Is like I swear, like I love me some Vince Williams. Jordan Goodwin has been really solid for a 6th round pick for us on here.
And he's good in the stock department, which
right. That's what's like really helped, like building, like keeping him afloat. 30 points or 30 minutes a game and 4 stocks. And Aldama too. I'll take a little Aldama tonight. That this game is not on my watch list, but those players are in the 6th round pool.
Nicholas jumping in here with a super chat for us. Thank you so much. Will Pick'em champions remain in NC going forward? Neumy, we don't want to go too deep into the North Carolina stuff. a lot of moving pieces there. We've kind of like low key been instructed, like just let it play out, and then we'll talk about it in its entirety one of these days. But my understanding is that will no longer be. Is that correct, Neumy?
I'm just gonna no comment.
Okay, no comment. No comment. Sorry, Nicholas. We can't get an official word on anything North Carolina quite yet. But as you guys can see on Twitter, and there's been a whole bunch of stuff that a little bit of change coming in North Carolina that is sports book adjacent. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah. Hopefully, some more info soon from
Okay.
the brand themselves, Nicholas. Right now, nothing from us. But thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you for supporting us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll spend that wisely on a couple drafts right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? You mentioned good win there. I've been taking some Vince Williams in the 5th round. I've taken Gigi Jackson a couple times in the 6th round. Gigi, I don't imagine ever starts, but if he finds himself to 36 minutes, like he's kind of prone to do off the bench there, we're waiting for that explosion game from Gigi Jackson, are we not?
We are. And speaking of explosion, how about double jump explosion? Back to that Wizards Jazz game. My son, Marvin Bagley, tonight.
Okay.
Absolutely, okay. Marvin Bagley night tonight. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but getting around 30 minutes.
Yeah, continue.
Jazz. Enough said.
Yeah,
I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more. You almost had me. What else do we got?
He's a 6th-round pick.
All right, sold. That's it. I'm in.
Enjoy the pen.
Yeah, he's going to play all the minutes in the world. I've been doing more of the Tyus in the last round. I've been doing more of the Kuzma in the 2nd and Avdia in the 5th than I have been going the Marvin Bagley route, but definitely should and will be mixing some of that in, though I kind of prefer the front court from the other side.
Porque no los dos, baby.
We didn't really talk about the Trailblazers at all. The Blazers.
Good.
Well,
that's
Ayton
enough talking about him personally.
Ayton has the Q tag tonight. It's not a great spot for anyone, but Ant is really pushed up in those mid-20 rounds. Sexton and Collins over Ant for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pull up ADP here.
Wait,
and
over
show some...
Ant or Ant?
Ant with a
okay.
F.
I was like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Got you now. I got you now. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, kind of like this tier. And then I think a lot of people just click Simons next because whatever. I was doing Avdia and Claxton over it too. I was actually doing it like that. Any beef with that? Any interest in getting to anyone from Portland?
No.
Okay.
I just don't want any part of that. No thanks. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to go on track record and say I wouldn't want to. Sure, you can get the random outcome. Maybe it was just last game. I don't think it was 2 games ago where all of a sudden like the Grizzlies were winning and were in the game throughout the 3rd. You know what I mean? Like just wasn't the performance you would expect the T-Wolves to be going against a decimated Grizzly squad, which is basically the same as like a Portland Trailblazer squad. So like what performance are you going to get? You're going to get where all of a sudden they look like that lockdown #1 defense, or it's like, wow, they're playing down to their opponent. Like I'm going to probably just go with they're going to lock them down. But yeah, I agree. It's tough to get a Blazer and feel good about it.
Tough loss last night for the Wolves, right? I mean, so this is a little bit of a, bounce back game. They have hopes of, getting a top seed. So yeah, let's hope that they just shut down these Blazers and we don't have to worry about losing at the hands of a 50-point Anthony Simons night. That'd be great.
Yeah. I did do from like the 35th and 36th pick. I did do Jabari Walker. I do think they play double big tonight. I do just kind of think, Walker's had some decent games, and without Grant, just throwing the name out there, I will mix him in a little bit, and I have mixed him in a little bit, but I mean, that's wishful thinking.
What is what's the spread on that game? Let's do some math here since it's not listed.
13?
Looks like 14.
Pretty sure it's
14.
like 14 and a half is the last time I saw.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
14 is what I see on Fantasy Labs right now.
God, man.
And it's
Yeah,
at home
team-
too. So
sub 100
for us,
total is
so it's not
impressive.
great. Like it's just not great all around. Everything. I mean, that's implied in it, but yeah, it's just
Oh, I mean, and this T-Wolves team just held the Clippers to 89 points last night.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, unless they are, stretching the rotation hella and they're doing kind of like a soft rest night or something like that, where you kind of just want no part of anyone on the Minnesota team. But why would they do that? Right?
They can do a soft rest night by literally just like being up by 25, 30 in the third, and then you just rest them. So it's off.
And then you just rest the guys. Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Fully agree.
And barring some crazy value, which I think you always got to keep in mind, just Xing out Blazers could probably be profitable. Like just thinking about that from that standpoint. Right. Just one less thing to get right. Like, hey, I don't think a Blazers is going to be in the optimal lineup. So,
yeah, I like that shout. Okay, last round. Scroll the F down, guys. Anyone you're looking to get over on in this back end. Nez already mentioned Bagley. I said the Keegan Murray one and the Jordan Clarkson one. You guys got any other names you want to add here?
I'll take Trey Jones' brother tonight too.
Trey Jones's brother Tyus. There we go.
Oh my God, we're calling him Trey Jones's brother now.
Last game, I was in on Tyus Jones. He flopped. Trey Jones last night went on him heavy, flopped. It's time that
I thought we didn't care about these things anymore, Nezi.
Well, they are known as each other's brother until one of them hits for me again.
Hey, there's some good Apple Valley, Minnesota boys. So we love the Joneses over here in Minnesota, Minneapolis area.
Love that.
That's good. Apple Valley, good. All right, I like
You
that.
get the trunks out tonight, John? Oh, sorry.
No, that's just where my sister lives. So like all their sons go there, and like when I go to their high school and see their games, whatever, you can just see the shrines of everything going up. Like,
shrines.
Yeah.
Nez, what'd you ask?
Are you getting your trunks out tonight?
No, man.
It's a little abnormally cold today. I have packed away the trunks for the recent time being. I know he's probably still going to play off the bench. He could do some damage in a pace up bad defense. Utah, I think, 29th in on-ball defense in the NBA right now. Like that is for those scoring at home, not good. Could it be the pool party this evening? It very well could, but I kind of like some of these other spots that we've clicked on more. I like the catch and shoot on the Keegan. I like the Jordan Clarkson one a little bit more. I like, taking some shots on the Milwaukee guys if we think there's a chance that Giannis sits there. And then I like Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson's the last name I'll throw out and add into this pile who I've been taking late.
I just want to say, I think I may have cracked the Jordan Poole flow chart. I think I got it. And just I think what we need to do is every day there needs to be an investigation to who is sitting on the courtside seat for that game. And we just need to get a roll call. We just need to maybe we need to post it out there, get people to be like, yeah, I'm going to be there. And we need to figure out, are there any baddies going to be in that first row? And if so, we push up Mr. Party.
Jordan Poole, he'll ball out if he knows those girls.
It'll be a party for everybody. Well, we just need to get that information. If that's something that is out there, we just need to be like, hey, who's sitting here? Are you a baddie? Simple.
I like it.
These games don't have to be hard.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah. Aldama feels okay. I think Zubac goes back to the 24 minutes or whatever. He didn't play that last night. He got 18 or something. 18 and was not a factor at all. I think we kind of see him return to a little bit more regular rotation tonight. I already mentioned the Jabari Walker one that feels good, and then shoot the moon on a GG Jackson explosion game because it's coming, man. It is coming at some point. I've been wrong on when it's coming thus far, but it's going to come one of these nights. I swear.
It's coming.
Has the volume been there?
It's going to be coming in the G League.
Yeah, it is going to be coming.
That's what it's going to be coming. The GG League.
31 minutes versus Portland. Last time out, 17 points. I don't like when he plays minutes off the bench. he's good, but it's like the usage isn't incredible. You're right, Nez.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like familiar with his like inevitable breakout. I love Gigi. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't know that he was primed to blow here.
Yeah.
He was 4 for 15 against the Blazers. Goddamn.
he was hoisting that night. That was the night. Dude. That was the night where everyone was taking Jordan Goodwin in the 6th round, and I just kept clicking GG Jackson because I was like, look at the leverage we're gonna get here.
Speaking of hoisting, that Michael Porter game, bro, I don't know if this is a broken algorithm on dunks and threes or if I'm just dumb, but my man, his last game has 125 expected field goal percentage. 125%. My man
broke the model.
What I mean, and it's hilarious because I'm like, when you guys were freaking out, and I'm like, okay, like what's going on? I'm like, oh, bro's shooting the lights out. I went and looked. He's like had some mid games, an awful game. Then he goes and has a plus 11.3 in expected plus minus and just balls out. And then against the Warriors and the Kings just goes -3, -1, and then goes, hold up, I'm going to shoot the lights out again and have 125% expected field goal percentage. Like, Jesus.
I think the common denominator in that was Jamal being out.
Was it? I was going to ask. You guys would know more.
Yeah, Jamal left with an injury, and then Michael Porter went nuts.
Gotcha. It was still insane. It was just that seeing 125% next to expected field goal percentage. I'm like, I honestly was going to email them and be like, is this correct? Like, is this right? Like, how does this happen? Like, what am I missing here? Like, this is nuts.
That's good. Here's a good shout. I mean, we talked about the Taylor Hendricks Spice double there that we added to our pick'em entry at the top of the hour. I don't know. Let's just mix them in the 6th round.
I'm taking Taylor Hendricks today in the 6th.
Taylor Hendricks sounds like a freaking middle reliever.
Dude, he was a top 10 pick in the draft.
Was he?
Okay. Also sounds like a guitar player or bassist for like a middling indie band.
I think I'm mixing like
Sabonis,
Taylor Rogers, and freaking like Liam Hendricks together.
You are.
Like, he is Taylor Hendricks. So
you are. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, he was the 9th overall pick. At a UCF.
Apologize, brother. I'm not familiar with your game.
Well, he's him. So,
goodness gracious, is this another Cam Thomas?
Any considered limit? If he gets 28 minutes, we're printing, Ricky. Like if he plays anywhere close to 28 minutes, it's a smash.
I need to look brother up. Who does he even play for?
The Jazz, baby.
Utah.
Oh God.
Kuzma is kind of like a line in the sand for me. I think you could go flowchart on the Harden thing, or you could sell me this pen on Dame with Giannis out. But I like Kuzma.
I think Kuzma here as well.
Okay.
I know how it feels. Trust me, but I think this is the correct move. Mm-hmm. I know it feels like a trap spot, right? Anytime a spot feels too good to be true for Kuzma, yeah.
Oh. I know without looking, he's my highest owned.
He got 29.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Time. Kyle Kuzma is your highest owned. Just never seems to go right. Let me tell you what.
No, it does not.
Let me tell you.
Hendricks is like, unless Hendricks gets into foul trouble, he's a damn near lock for 28 tonight.
Yeah.
I was just looking through his last game log, and like you said, like if he gets 28, I mean, he's got 26, 26, 29, 27, 29. Seems like he could get that 28.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's a smash with 28. That's why we took him for the double-double.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Keontae's sick from putting the team on his back, I think, was the illness there. 43 minutes against the Heat is ridiculous.
Keontae in the double dribble was like freer than free. And that was I love that. I my two of my highest known were Keontae and Wemby. Don't ask me how the teams are doing. Wow. Not great because they're. I'm pretty sure Scotty Barnes, is he out? Is he hurt? Is he done? I don't know.
He's done for the season.
Yeah, he's.
Well, that's a rest in peace because your boy's got a lot. Your boy's got a lot of Mr. Scott Barnes.
Face of the league.
We haven't talked about Bridges yet. Kind of like him. All right, you want to take Rudy?
Rudy or J-Dub? To be honest, I'd probably lean J-Dub, but Rudy's got like a significant ADP gap, so.
Let's take him.
Sometimes I think about that where like I'm
Yeah,
1v1 and the gap is like that large. I don't know.
We just got a Kamara downgrade to questionable with illness, so another
Alvin?
front court member
Jesus.
of the Blazers there. I mean, they might score 80 points tonight.
That's generous.
Yeah. Dude, I think Ayton in the 6th, then Jabari Walker in the 6th feel like fine.
Yeah.
I like Jabari Walker because he's going to be so low drafted. And he does what we like well on this site.
Right.
I would be more inclined, like I'm just trying to look here, like let me just make sure I'm not talking completely out of my ass. What are we looking at for Mr. Ruder? Yeah, I'm like I would just think like Rudy's gonna shut down Ayton and just get whoever's Towns is gonna be on. Like because Towns is a sieve. Towns is a cone out there. Like that's your way to success. So if Jabari Walker is gonna be out there, but I mean PG?
Paul George or Kobe White for me. Yeah, who do you guys like?
I kind of like Kobe.
Okay. Is that positive correlation on the run back off Sabonis?
It absolutely is. Because I said so. The only reason there is I just think Kobe has a higher ceiling than Paul George. Maybe that's wrong. Because Paul George has 50s in his bag, but
we haven't seen it in a while. We've not seen it in a while.
Yeah. And we know Kobe's going to have the minutes, and he has the better matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, you traditionally like the guards side of the matchup stuff against the Bucks more than you like anyone who's a little bit bigger. Not that, PG can't handle the ball, but just in general. The flow chart.
Yeah, if Giannis is out, I don't know how that changes things for PG specifically, but
you know what? I think it's a bad thing if Giannis is out, because then I think you're looking at like a soft minutes cap for like a really winnable game for them without having to use everybody. You just get one of those classic games from the Clippers where it's the second night of a back-to-back and you get 28 minutes instead of getting, 36.
Yeah, they are favored right now, so
yeah, what are they, 3-point favorites?
I think it's even larger than that. 4.5. No, actually, I apologize. The Bucks are 4.5-point favorites. Sorry.
Okay, that implies Giannis is playing.
Correct. Yeah, I was looking at that. Like, I think Giannis plays. But I have not been in the guessing game for this at all.
Right.
I've been
you don't have to.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
This room is not fun right now. All my favorite targets are going to all these smart red badges. Vince Williams, D'Lo, Keegan Murray, Clarkson.
I would take D'Lo.
Neumy?
Yeah, I mean either D'Lo or Vince, but I would take D'Lo. Just
for the record, I think I like Vince more tonight. I've been taking Vince over D'Lo.
Well, when this lineup is a 1v1 off of Vince Williams taking it down, we can blame it on you for not having the cojones to take your own guy.
Just scroll down, man. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. This Memphis versus Nets matchup is just so disgusting.
Half of the NBA games, if not 75% of them, probably throughout the rest of the season will be disgusting because that's what we're at in the NBA.
Clarkson, Ayton, Brooke Lopez, Cam Johnson.
Clarkson, since we don't have any other Jazz, I think this makes like a really smart pick for him. Even though Brad was saying earlier, king of the correlation sheet, that surprisingly Sexton and Clarkson, like on his research, are not negatively correlated.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because you would think they're both like ball dominant. I'm gonna rip one more of these and do baseball.
Yeah, you would think.
Huh. Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know who those samples were against or anything.
Neumy's haircut is getting some big time love in the chat today. I love it.
It's just because I look like a homeless person for the last year of my life. Oh, my mic's down here. Sorry. It's because I looked homeless for the last year of my life. I mean, it was awful, dude. I had to go to sleep with a ponytail for the last 2 months. I didn't shower.
It's a shame they closed down all the barbershops in Minnesota.
Listen,
so you couldn't...
I have told this story many a times. Have I not?
I don't know, but let me pee before you tell it. Can you answer this question? So if you set your deposit limit, do you have to email support to change?
They can't change that. They can't change that.
But it's within a time frame. So if you email support, they can change it for the next window of time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can't change it for you today, but if you set your limit too low, you can change it so that when they're next authorized to legally allowed to change your limit, then they can change it, correct?
Yeah, just okay. I would contact support. I know you probably already have, but just contact support and they'll get right back to you for these. So
all right. Nez, you want me to take SGA over Giannis here? He's wavering. He's lifetime wavering. Yes. I like it, man. I like the spot for SGA better than I like the spot for Giannis anyways. I like AD and SGA straight up over Giannis tonight, even if Giannis plays. Book it. Record.
What better place to boost your chances at winning MVP than against the LA Lakers?
Yeah, true.
Spotlight.
Big game. That's
centered.
Yeah, he's gonna come up. Oh, is he in LA or no? Yeah, they're in LA, right? For Shea. Yeah, he's gonna show up to the whatever arena in the most bougie looking outfit.
His style, man. His
crazy.
Style is
hey, go off. It's not mine, but you go off, buddy. But everyone's just riveting, wondering about this haircut, and wondering why it took so long. So I went to get a haircut when I was in college 4 years ago.
John told you to wait. Well, this story, he's gonna get so mad that
no, he didn't. He said to do it now while he was in the bathroom. So when he came back, the story was done. Okay. He didn't have to listen to it. That was the point.
Sorry.
Yeah, I picked up what he was putting down. But and then I went to a sports clips. Something simple. You think they wouldn't screw it up? Oh my God, it was awful. It was awful, dude. It was terrible. So then I went to a salon that wasn't not a beauty salon, but a men's salon in Bemidji, basically, and screwed it up. Just didn't and it was awful. And I'm from that point on, I will drive and fly back home if I need to go get my haircut from this place, from this lady. She knows exactly how I like it. I give her 100% tip every single time because I get my haircut every 1 to 2 years. It's perfect. Work smarter, not harder. And in that case, I do both.
I love the 100% tip. That's where it's at.
Oh yeah, you're so classy.
She knows. She knows. Yeah.
Who do you guys like here? Harden on the flow chart, Vooch matchup. Who do you guys prefer?
I'm kind of a ADP donk here and take Harden.
Okay, you could sell me on Vooch there. I don't think you could sell me on Chet with SGA.
Yeah, Chet with SGA does not feel like the move. But
I can't, man.
That's good.
Chat just, oh my God.
Where do you stand on the real life production of Chet versus the projections kind of pooping their pants over his results lately? I guess we can make this pick before this is Vooch for me, but if you want to go to DeRozan,
yeah, I think you can mix and match those two. I like Vooch, man.
Are you saying they're over projecting him or they're not? They're scared to project him because of his recent performance.
Vooch does not project well any given, or I'm sorry, Chet does not project well on any given slate, but his ADP always reflects his real ceiling, and people don't like to think about it. They like to just follow the projection and not draft Chet.
Yeah, and people are underweight Chet every single night.
Or if it's people getting lucky. I don't know. I think you can pick your spots with Chet.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's Wemby before Wemby, right?
Something like that.
Well, I just think it's tough for Chet's situation when it comes to projection models because you have you have a 1A. You have the 1A, and Chet could be the 1A on how many teams, but he's the 1B, and will always have to give up usage and everything else to SGA. So like, I think that's just the tough part is like, they still are trying to figure out how to like project them with this unit. Like that team is just good overall. Besides them two, they got J-Dub, they got Lou Dort out there. They got boys that are not just like scrub. That team has a good bench. So I think that
and they run it 11 deep too.
I think
they
that
run
just
it deep.
Eats at his ceiling. Like, sure, a guy like him who has the stock upside can on a site like this where we value stocks, like it's going to make him more of a premium when he has those outlier days. But I think it's just tough for projection models when you don't have anyone else on there. You don't. The neck. Who's the Devin Vassell? Devin Vassell's a nothing compared to SGA, and that's what Chet has to deal with versus Wemby. When I'm thinking like other these, so I don't know. I'm just thinking like projection wise, like it's always going to be tough for him when you have
to soak usage. Yeah.
It's like having maybe this is a bad comp, but it's like T. Higgins, who could be the 1A on everyone's team, but he's the 1B because there's Jamar Chase, something like that.
Right.
Or the Waddle and Hill.
That's good comp.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, Collins?
This is Collins. Yeah, Collins for me, and then hoping that my darling comes back on the other side here. We will see here. This is great. So Copper's in our draft, and he's saying in the chat that he just put Monday into the button clicker, and he entered all Monday Night Puck drops auto drafting instead of hoops auto drafting. That's legend. That is so good.
I think he did the same thing for the Dinger too. I don't know how he accidentally did that, but
you could tell me that Avdia or Claxton.
Take Claxton, buddy. Come on.
You could fight me on those two. Man, Claxton rugged my ass like last time out, that first Atlanta game. And then we got the game that I actually signed up for the next slate.
Yeah, and it wasn't on the slate.
I know. Same with Bridges, and they weren't on the slate. And I was like, yeah, this is the game I signed up for, the previous Atlanta game. And they both go nuke in that one because I had like 40% of both of them the first time versus Atlanta. Oh, it's funny how that works.
These Nets, man, are just so insanely difficult. Just to tie a bow on the Chet discussion, I like him tonight. And I'm not familiar where models have him ranked. I think Chet against a team like the Lakers that takes so many of their shot attempts inside the arc makes sense to go in on Chet.
Yeah, the counterpoint to it is they're so effing big. Like if both LeBron and AD play, like they're so big that they physically dominate a guy like Chet. That would be like the counter to it. But I agree where you're at. I agree where you're at.
It doesn't seem to be too strong of a take based on my quick glance, but
just in terms of like where he's projecting as well.
Yeah, comparatively to other folks. I mean, what's his ADP here?
Also, I just have to say, because of that Copper thing, I'm going to have to be getting a Monday Puck Drop 2 out here pretty quick because that thing's at like 80%. So
that is so funny.
That's fucking incredible. I was immediately the first thing that popped into my mind was like, oh goodness, that must have made the fill rate go, and it did.
Extra rig back, baby. It's what it's all about. That's what puts food on the table.
Mark, if you scroll back a little bit, we talked about the Blazers a bit there. We didn't definitively say, I think Ayton goes tonight. I think he was pretty close last game, and I think they're running out of bodies, man. Like they especially with this Kamara illness tag now. Yeah. And if he doesn't go, like 6th round pick, whatever, swap to Jabari Walker, swap to, whomever else you prefer. But I think the Jabari Walker swap is pretty good. Wow. We're not going to scroll on this one because I like both Keegan Murray and Clarkson a lot. Pick between the two for me, gentlemen.
I'm going to go Keegan. Let's make this your guy times 2.
Agreed.
Right. These are, I'm going to have some builds tonight that start at 23 with Clarkson and then go Claxton, then go Keegan. And the last 3 picks, instead of Collins here, I'll have Clarkson and I'll have 2 6th rounders and whatever, because I like that a lot.
Yeah,
the 6th round is a lot of fun right now.
John, you're gonna have to update me because I am not aware. Looks like maybe he's been out for a while, but Jack Eichel is a game time decision tonight.
Ooh, there we go.
Has he been out for a while?
Yeah, I think he has actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't remember hearing his name for a good minute. So
Yeah. It's been out since latest update could return. Blue Jackets.
yeah, it's just whoever it was on Twitter literally
has not played since January 11th.
Yeah, it was Cassidy, whoever their head coach on 2 hours ago on Twitter. He said he's a game time decision trending well. So that's how we get updates. We have to have a press conference on the game day without an injury report that he's a game time decision. Thank you, NHL. Appreciate it.
Right. Yeah. No injury report for NHL is kind of crazy. GA saying that the puck was filled 15% last night by midnight Central Time. That's pretty good fill rate. Love to see that.
Good stuff,
Cool.
Puck boys.
Puck guys. I said dinger. Should we do dinger or should we try and fill another perfect game?
Let's just
see. You know what? Okay, let's just see. All right, fine.
Take a peek.
Let's try and we'll try and fill the perfect game here.
Okay.
We got 8 spots. Might be a tall task.
Yeah.
Let's see.
TBH, I'll just tweet it if you need it, and it'll fill in 2 seconds. Not trying to say I have the poll, but like people
look at the high rollers in the chat.
There you go. Because Nezi needed something like 3 weeks ago. I tweeted it, and like it insta filled.
Yeah, I just like deleted the request.
Yeah, I was like, okay, delete tweets. Not here. No one needs shit.
It's over.
It's over.
Okay, we gotta reset a couple things here while we're just chilling. We got 90 people hanging out. If you're gonna leave before baseball, please don't, because it's awesome. It's amazing. But if you feel so inclined, please hit that like, that follow, that subscribe, that notification. Consider following each of us and the group of BadgeBros on X there. We tweet out every time we go live and share a bunch of the community stuff, share people's big wins, all that sort of fun stuff. 4 more for a perfect game here. What was the other one I had? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys. Best sounds in sports. So the Discord was talking about the crack of the bat and the pop of the glove mitt or pop of the catcher's mitt as 2 of the best sounds in baseball. We were talking about that in the baseball Discord thread. What else you guys got?
Well, it wasn't just any bat that we were talking about the sound of. It was one Henry Davis.
Oh, okay.
That's what sparked this. Let's be real. Mr. 1400 and he thinks he's Jared Kelnick in spring training. Henry Davis, crack of the bat.
Okay.
My contribution to this conversation is a swish, but not just any swish. I need a swish in March Madness that hits the back of the rim that you can hear the little bit of the metal clang. It needs to be an NCAA swish where it's like a clang.
The little bit of the back of the rim sold me there. Like a clean swish is nice, but when you touch a little bit of that,
just
that
and the net like barely moves. Ooh,
yeah,
son.
Neumy, what else you got?
That's a list. Well, yeah, no, Nez kind of got that. I was gonna say literally a swish, but just like hitting that back iron just so perfect, where it's just kind of like you hit that, but. Like having that, like there's Steph swishes. If you watch him and like if you put a mic, like if you're getting like that good sound effect, like man, a good clean swish does sound real nice though. Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone's. I mean, you got the bat, like in football. Like what can you really even hear besides like a tackle, which honestly makes me go, oh, like sometimes I'm just like, holy shit, like
right?
Those guys, like, that's scary. Like honestly, I maybe I'm wrong. Is there something in football that's honestly like, oh, that sounded like great? Like, am I tripping right now? Is there something? Am I just
when a defender's mic'd up and he gets juked out of his shoes and you hear it, oh.
I think the only thing that
you hear the jock strap hit the ground.
Yeah. The best thing is when they're in between plays and you have the guys mic'd up and they're talking to each other, giving each other shit. No, like,
ooh,
okay,
this is a nice one. Bouncing a basketball in a completely empty gym, so you get like that echo.
There you go. We might need to pivot to a dinger.
I will say.
All right. And sorry, guys, rug pull. I'm leaving here. We're gonna drop in a dinger. We will try the perfect game every time first because I want to keep filling those for people.
and I'm gonna
But,
be hopping off
we're
here
in the
before this
dinger.
one, fellas.
10 more.
But I just want to say my one thing on top of the empty gym, thinking about that, is since I told you my sister was like a figure skater and I did way more of that, I would be there sometimes where it'd just be her.
Oh,
And when
yeah.
it's a clean sheet of ice and she's like
Carve.
ripping it and doing some of the tricks, and you hear like the and it
Mm.
lands perfectly, and then all of a sudden she does like, and it's like, just if you just heard that and just close your eyes, that's some pretty like good. I mean, that sounds great. Like, I will
Yes,
say,
Yeah.
I fully agree with you. Like a clean sheet of ice or like an ODR where you're like the only person skating and you just hear the cut of the skates on the ice. Oh, that's big
nice.
time.
It's
Yeah, that
really
is
nice. I think that might be goated for me. Like, besides just being really weird, and I love the sound of metal cleats on cement. I
Yeah.
love the crunch.
Oh,
I love the
walking to the
I
stadium.
thought I
or
sounded the
walking in
best.
dugout.
When you knew you were a player and you could walk everywhere and people look at you, just be like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
can do that because I have a game. It's just like I love that sound. So
yeah,
really
that
weird.
really is a good one.
Yeah.
That's the
But-
spring training leaving the field in the 5th inning when everybody else has to stay and play. And you're walking back to the clubhouse with your gear while everybody's still playing, and you're walking with your metal cleats on the thing.
I stay and watch my teammates play.
Okay, buddy. I would not. I
All
would
right, boys.
absolutely be. I would be on the links.
Hey, I appreciate you fellas letting me hop on here. It's
Oh,
been
of course.
it's been a good bit, but I do gotta pop off here and get some stuff done. But hey, it was great. It felt like old times, just hopping on and shooting the shit. So I thank you everyone
Riding
for the
the bike,
compliment of
bro.
the haircut. It's great. Yeah. So I'll see what I can do. Probably won't be on before next week. I got a bachelor party, so your boys growing up, going to a little Scottsdale, Arizona. Here, I'll let you make your pick here.
This for me right now.
Byron
is
Buxton.
Tatis. You like Tatis or Jordan? Who do you like, Nez?
If it's between Tatis or Jordan, I gotta go Tatis.
Okay. You like Carroll more than both?
I'd take Carroll the least, but I've taken him a couple times.
Okay. Like that. Yeah, but alrighty, boys. Yeah, I'll let you be, and you guys have yourself a fantastic one. Don't draft too many twins. I know they're tough to stay away from. So, alrighty, fellas.
Thanks, Neumy.
All right.
Yes,
Later,
sir.
Neumy.
Peace.
What a guy.
Yeah, it's always fun. Haircut looks good too. Like he sent us a picture on the weekend there that he got the haircut done, and I was like, man, he looks like a grown ass man now.
Man, he needs to go back to that barber more often. He needs to make that more than a twice a year, once every 2 year thing. It's like a different person whenever he's got the haircut.
Yeah, I was vibing with his take on hairdresser and like who the salon person is, because for years I didn't trust anyone other than like one woman, and then when she retired, I was in shambles. I was jumping around. Yeah, she actually didn't retire. She just stopped cutting hair and moved away or whatever. And I was in shambles trying to
get away from you.
Trying to find trying to find a new cut. Yeah, let's talk. Okay, we'll make the pick and then throw some more out here, because the Bar South, Bar Mexico, that's the one for me. Like the clean one timer, catches a bit of post and goes in. Another one is big hit along the glass, and like the glass rattles or something. You lay somebody out. Oh man,
Neumy made a good call with the even when you're just at a hockey game. You're just at a game and you hear the blades in the ice. It's a great sound.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? We got a bit of a Schwarber fall.
I guess we take Schwarber. I mean, you could sell me on anyone in the top 9 basically here. Who do you like?
I think I would do Schwarber at this pick.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't do a ton of Schwarber. Like I haven't been trying to get him. I do take like the Bobby Witt tier ahead of him. I guess what opened it up was Cat flipped the board a little bit, took a Dolis there, so we got that one there.
Dang.
Stephanie High's doing the Mike Trout Julio start. I did that one earlier today. I love that one.
Yeah, where are you at on Adolis? Are you in the fade camp?
Yeah, I was fading last year. I'm a fade this year too. Like I don't know, just all the steam that the other outfielders are getting. He's got the birth certificate that says I am 12. I have no idea how old he actually is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. He just feels like that guy that I can soft fade in this region and not get killed by. Like if he was going in round 4 or 5, then obviously he's fully cemented in the player pool. Or like if you told me Adolis versus Christian Yelich, like then I'm like, okay, yeah, now we got to think seriously about this. But like, yeah, I'm just not about it.
See, man, we know Adolis' ceiling is like pretty massive.
Yeah, especially in that lineup. Like that team's good.
The team is one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And Adolis can just mash, man. Like we're not talking about I don't even know who to compare him to as far as like an outfield's range of outcomes, but like the dude can clearly mash. Like very clearly can mash. Took a step forward last year. I mean, we're not paying. It's not like we're getting him at a discount. So like I get like, getting sticker shock on Adolis. I'm really, really just trying not to overthink like big beefy baseball boy that can mash on the best team in baseball.
Entirely fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, entirely fair. Michael Harris getting hot in spring here. Med takes him there. Stephanie High's been doing some damage in the basketball streets there. Saw Stephanie High's take one down. I don't do a ton of early pitcher stuff here, Nez. It's not my MO.
Me neither.
Nolan Jones for me, I think.
I can do a little Nolan Jones here.
I like some of the backstacks for the Colorado stuff too. Like it's really easy to get there with just like a double stack with Colorado because nobody else goes for so long.
They go so late. Even, I've been even doing Chris Bryant more and more lately.
Yeah. We fell for that trap last year. He was one of my highest exposed there. I was like, oh yeah, switch it up, get some lift going. But
yeah, I just think at this cost, I think I can be tricked one last time, or at least on 8% of my teams, I can get tricked one last time.
We are right at this portion of the board where I want to have top secret conversation, but I want to let said player go off the board first, hopefully to us. Because we have to have our annual our Elly conversation here. But let's see what happens. We're seeing some fun stuff take place here. The Grill Belichick doing the 3 Atlanta. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, that's certainly one way to get those guys. And then with a Lindor to boot there. I mean,
yeah, a little heavy infield start.
Love
See what it turns out into.
I love all of the analysis that's been done, specifically by, baseball, Chris, friend of the show, and everything. And all the work that's been done is always like with the caveat that like, this is like results, oriented based on like one, a year of like sample and everything. So I say that because like what we know is like investing a lot of capital in pitchers isn't really a good strategy thus far. Sorry, as we look at this pick here, I have trouble not going Jose Altuve, but
okay. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Honestly, I normally only take Altuve if there's a chance Bregman can come back or that I can stack him with Yordan here. I would normally take Luis Castillo here. Kevin Gausman got some bad news. I don't know how far he's going to fall, but shoulder fatigue stuff for Kevin Gausman right now. His ADP is going to be a Fugazi for a bit here, which might introduce some ability to get some like crazy discount and use him as like a one-off ace in the 6th round or something. If he starts falling that far, could be some fun experimental builds we could get to there. But yeah, I think I probably would have taken Luis Castillo. Didn't have his best outing ever on Sunday. Tatis actually got him for a home run there, but it's just spring and who gives a shit. But I kind of like that 4th round Castillo price as like building off of him as like your horse ace, because I don't see a huge difference between him and Burns and him and Yamamoto.
Yeah, he should be one of the best pitchers this season. It would be a shock if he wasn't. For me, I am kind of buying into Altuve being in good shape based on the fact that he was awarded a contract extension and hitting leadoff for this loaded Astros team. Seems pretty good. I mean, Jose Altuve didn't play a lot last year, but he put up a good season. So I just think that if he's healthy all season here, he has the ability to I mean, I don't want to say infield, top 3 infield, but he can have a monster season. So been getting more and more to Altuve because I wasn't to start.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, they clearly believe in him, even though he's 32, 33 now?
Yeah, in that range.
Yeah, he's in that range, and they just gave him a 6-year or 5-year extension. So, I mean, like, they clearly still believe that the hit tool is going to age and whatnot. We're getting the Gosman fall here.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, still can't do it. Gallon, Hap's dealing with a little something as well. I think we kind of forced our hand into pitcher here, Nez.
Yeah, I mean, I like Fromber.
You like Fromber more than Gallon? You're scared of the Gallon innings stuff?
No, I enjoy some Fromber.
Okay.
Gallon's innings are definitely like a little spooky. Spooky. Just a little. I mean, 230 is a ton.
Yep. Do you think there's 2 things I wanted to talk about off the top of the board here that we kind of just like blew past because Neumy was here and that sort of thing? Acuna, do we think we're going to see any form of discount on Acuna? His right knee giving him some meniscus tendonitis, blah, 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 flaring up, going for an MRI. He's now going back to see his doctor in LA who performed the surgery that he had 2 off seasons ago, something like that. They shut him down early, and then he had the surgery, and then he came back sooner than everybody expected, but played great still. That was, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. Probably going to have like some definitive information today, though there was a Snedeker press conference and they didn't have anything official yet. So I don't know. What do you think? What's your read on the Acuna
I've already
situation?
seen Soto go 101 like more than once. So
Interesting.
the discount's happening. I am not going to do that though. I am still going. It doesn't seem like his season's in jeopardy, obviously, and if he misses time, I don't expect it to be 60 days. So
pick anyone you would like here, Nez.
Anyone.
I will not say no.
For me, I would take Logan Webb.
Okay. I would take Logan Webb as well. I take a lot of Logan Webb. It was this kind of area of the draft right now for me is very polarizing. I basically have no Royce Lewis, and it scares me. The only O'Neal Cruz I have is when it's with you. The majority of the teams in which I draft look somewhat similar to this, but like I kind of have 5 position players through 5 rounds most of the time. And then I kind of have 2 pitchers in this vicinity. So the anchors of my staff a lot look like, kind of like this Frommer and Webb, or like Webb and Luzardo, Webb and Grayson, Webb and Logan. Not a ton of Max Fried in this vicinity, but this is a big tier that I kind of just skip over. I like Christian Walker. I love him against lefties, but like I kind of skip him. Same with Royce Lewis. Like I see the ceiling, but I skip him. Same with O'Neal Cruz, Jordan Walker, and Soler I have 0 of and probably will keep it that way. And Quan, we have the 1 share that we did on stream when he fell. That's basically it, man.
Yeah, I love this range of pitching, and it's a shame that there's so many fun players scattered in this range, but I'm making such heavy investments in bats before this range more often than not. So this is where I tend to load up. And because I'm loading up here, a lot of my pitching staffs are left with 6 because I feel like the quality that I have there is strong enough that if they are healthy, and I know that that's low-key a big if, I don't think it's a guarantee that your pitchers get hurt. I think that's a risk that you have to take sometimes, is like, hey, if I have a good staff and they're healthy, like I'm beating you. Right. I'm willing to take that risk, but I do have in mind that like that's not likely. that I have an immaculate staff. So, I want to be smart about how I allocate my pitching capital, but it's tough whenever, like, in my opinion, in my assessment, like the best picks on the board are pitcher, even though they're not
Right.
going to score as much as hitters. Like it's just the fact. So it's like that. It's such an interesting conundrum that we have here. And maybe the Occam's razor is like take the players that score more raw points.
Right. And that's kind of where my mentality was at all weekend. I did a bunch of these on the weekend and kind of like, yeah, I kind of just kept landing on that notion. Mullins left early today. That's kind of weird. We could talk about that in a second. O'Neill, Cruz, Max Fried.
Discount Cruz for me, but you can take Fried if you want.
No, let's take him. Sure. I mean, we joked about what's the difference in making the Cruz bet and the Elly bet 4 rounds apart or 3 rounds apart. May as well get some Cruz in my life. That was a lazy way also of me bringing up Elly because I want to have an Elly conversation that will never die. The Elly conversation will be the lifeblood of draft season.
Talk of the spring, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I wanted to, okay, never mind. We got a couple till our pick. I wanted to bring this one up. Tuma tweeted it this morning, shared one of his teams there. The standard kind of like Freeman, Olsen when all the outfielders run off. Then Oatmeal at the outfield here, and then tax on Elly at 37 there. And then he thinks this is best case for Elly to have 2 anchor infield, then kind of like fading the early starting pitcher stuff, and then you put it on. I disagree in like a pretty big way, just in terms of like and I understand it. So the notion here is like raw points from Freddie and Olsen are like so effing strong that they could be like both be top 5 overall players, let alone top 5 overall infielders, right? Like that's what it is. And then you mask the inefficiencies of Elly De La Cruz by pairing him with this. I think the optimal way to build with Elly is draft as if you're right and flip that narrative so that like, oh, I'm getting a top 5 player, but I've already soaked up 3 stud outfielders. How do you feel about this just like in general? How do you feel about the conversation? How do you feel? I don't know. Like, I know you're not like quote unquote in on Elly, but how do you feel about like if you're going to build some Elly teams, how would you go about it?
I mean, both of you guys are right.
Right.
Those are both fine ways to build around Elly. I think it's like whose payoff is greater. Well, probably the way you're building. We got this pick here.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me some insight here.
I don't know. What do you think about like a Yoshida and then build out Red Sox unless you don't like Yoshida as a bat?
I don't like Yoshida.
Do you like Churio? Because Churio has some stack options. Or you could do Steele, Rodon, Ryan.
Let's do Ryan. I don't do a ton of Ryan. And I kind of default.
Ryan's got a big fat ceiling.
Okay, let's do it. I like that more than
Wyatt Langford just went pick 85.
Yep.
The
new normal.
Dude, he's going to, I said top 50 to be a little polarizing. He's going to break pick 70 like with certainty. He will break pick 70.
He's getting the Elly treatment right now.
Again, so to bring it back to that conversation about Elly.
Not the Elly treatment, the Carroll treatment from last year.
Right.
That's what he's getting right now.
Yep. Yeah, clear as day. I would prefer to do it how Tuma did it. And I think I don't think Tuma's wrong in building like that. I think everybody needs to take a step back if you think that is wrong, because the range of outcomes for Elly there are a lot of ugly outcomes there. I think that you are fooling yourself if you don't think Elly De La Cruz has outcomes that are bad. He does. In those bad outcomes, you can still have really, really good ceiling. And you could potentially, like in his scenario, which is the more likely scenario, where you have Elly, average season, you paid a lot for it, but when it matters most, you get the ceiling, and it's paired with 2 other like massive infielders. I think what you do after really dictates, did you draft that team right? Because if you do like,
Sure, yeah.
you really got to be careful about the infield capital post that Elly infield 3 pick, in my opinion.
Right. So if you did it the Tuma way there, you end up having 7 outfielders in that build, presumably like, yeah, like
I would
7-6-7. That
I
kind of
would
probably feels right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hear people talking about treating infield as though like you're drafting 4 infielders, like you're starting 4 infielders. If you have such high capital and 3 of them, I think that you can obviously kind of change your MO there. All right. Any thoughts here?
I take Yuri a lot now.
Yeah. I'm cool with Yuri.
Yeah, if you think we're gonna get froze out, let's take Yuri.
Yuri's fun.
I think Yuri's ceiling's pretty high. He left his start early in spring, but it's nothing. It was like a hangnail or something like that.
He did break a fingernail, which like you don't love, but
right, yeah.
Yeah, Bobby Miller, I keep like thinking like, do I need to change my Bobby Miller exposure?
I mean, we saw him come up last year and throw like 99 and play well for the Dodgers, which is like,
I know.
But it's the Dodgers rotation, man. I just can't get on board with it when effectively we shrink this contest into a week-long contest. I'm never getting 2 starts. Period.
I don't think so either. I think the likelihood of him getting 2 starts is really, really low.
Right. And like, if you're going to get 2 starts in the finals from a Dodgers pitcher, it's probably not going to be Bobby Miller.
I think it's like Yamamoto and
yeah,
probably it, especially when Bueller is there and Kershaw is there. I'm worried because he could be awesome.
Yeah, they're playing for a World Series. They're stretching it all out. The K rate's not insane, but the stuff is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just for whatever reason, I just kind of like, I don't know. You can bring in like Shireen and shit like that too to just like eat innings if they want to. Like they don't need to extend anyone.
And they have Paxton. Beyond. Like, I mean, God, man.
They got Paxton. Like they literally don't have to extend anybody.
Yeah.
Nootbaar for me, or I like Nootbaar.
Okay. Let's do Nootbaar. Yeah.
Who would you take here, though? I'm curious. I mean, we could also stack Xander. That's kind of fun on the
I was going to say Xander.
Okay, let's take Xander. I think like
discount and stack.
Yeah, I kind of just like turned my brain off for a second and forgot we had to tease.
Yeah, and on
get
top
ahead
of
the
this,
Nootbaar stuff though.
Yeah, Nootbaar's probably undervalued. On top of taking, Xander there, I think there's a stack partner in round 20 in Cronenworth's probably going to bat 3 or 4.
Dude, have you been listening to the shows?
I know. I'm putting a feather in your cap, brother.
I've been all over that one. Like he's one of my higher owned guys. I like Cronenworth a lot in the late round there. Even if it's unstacked, I just take him off as like a one-off floor bat. Where it's like, what's Cronenworth's floor if he just continues to play every single day? Like it's just, I don't know. Him and Mountcastle to me just jump off the page Mountcastle is pushing up a little bit, but those two jumped off the page to me as like safety plus ceiling in the 18, 19, 20 range.
Yeah, I'm still not taking Mountcastle, but I do agree that like it's going to be hard for him to lose ABs, but they have so much talent in Baltimore, just so much.
I think we kind of need to push outfield here unless you see an infield target that you love.
I think Ward or Willy Adames.
Let's take Ward. I don't take a ton of Ward, and the majority of the Ward that I take is always with Trout. So it's kind of interesting to just take him here on his lonesome and maybe backstack or do it without Trout kind of thing.
Yeah, I just like Ward, and there's low key trade, potential there, in LA. Not that that's like anything that you want to be, hoping for when you draft somebody, but the potential is there. All the projection systems are not giving up on Taylor Ward, so that to me just like really stands out. Like everybody thinks that this dude is like degrees of magnitude better than the average hitter, and he goes at round 11. So,
yep, I like it. Shout out to Miles. Miles got the red badge there. Love to see it.
Hey, big
Nice
day.
little flex. Big day indeed. Jalen with a Y has been ruled out for OKC.
Or Jay Will.
And Russell. Yeah, Jay Will. Jalen. Jay Will. Yeah, Jalen with a Y has been ruled out.
Yeah, the other one's J Dub.
Yeah. And then Russell Wilson is going to be released by the Broncos.
Yeah, how about that?
There's your news catch up. Yeah, it might be one of the worst trades in NFL history. What a fall from grace, man. That's crazy. I don't remember when it happened. Like, it was just like, you're only getting back like Drew Lock and Noah Fant and some picks. Like, this doesn't look that great, but like, I don't know.
People did think that Seattle bungled that.
Right. Yeah. That was like the whole conversation. Like that. I think if you took a pulse of the industry at that point in time, it was like, whoa, you could have got more from.
Yeah. And plus they just like, I think they gave Jamal Adams a contract extension at the same time. So everyone's like, what are you doing? Like these teams, this team is so stupid. And then in comes Geno Smith with his stones.
Yeah. All right. Damn.
Gray got injured too, by the way.
Oh, interesting. I did not have that in my nuggets. You Darvish?
You love you some you.
I know. You were just.
I'm Volpe pilled, but.
You're who pilled?
Anthony Volpe.
Ugh.
All right. If we do you, I think this is a 6-pitcher team.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I was watching you against the Mariners on Sunday, I guess it was Sunday morning or Saturday morning, one of the two. And I was like, man, I know he's 37. He's just good park, good command, good stuff. Like just consistent. He's a horse. I don't know. Like that guy feels like he feels the way I felt last year clicking Verlander,
Mm-hmm.
Like it just felt like this like comfy, stable thing you throw in a staff and it works in any staff. Like,
Yeah, I want to take a look at the Savant page for Darvish just to see if there's any noticeable like velo dips here. It's tough because his let's see here.
He throws 9 pitches.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing changed like velo wise. The slider was kind of like more evenly dispersed velocity wise, but the fastball was still 95.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a huge jump and whip out of nowhere.
Right.
Like all of a sudden he was. Yeah, it was just a little strange. He's a good bet, man. He's a good bet. Like it doesn't feel good on the surface because like of the season that he just had.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he makes sense to buy at this range. I don't do it a lot though.
What was your Sonny Gray note?
I think it's a hamstring. It happened today, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he got like looked at by Wilson. Yeah. He was scheduled to pitch 3 innings, lifted in the second. So something to, at least it's, just a tight hamstring so far. That could be like nothing.
Sure. Yeah. But it's just of note.
Mm-hmm.
We might have the Chris Bryant with Nolan Jones decision here.
Ooh.
Do you like that one or do you prefer?
What is this discount on Barsha right now? What is this at? 15 picks?
Yeah, this is the JMac discount based on one tweet. That's what we're getting here. I'd prefer to stack Chris Bryant regardless, to be honest.
Yep. Me too. Just kind of curious how steep this discount is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's like a little bit of like empty FUD that he might platoon, but we went through it on Roster Resource. They have no other right-handed bats to platoon him with, like unless it's Schneider.
He's not getting platooned.
I don't think so either. He's a really good defender.
He's not getting platooned.
Like, yeah,
that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel similar to you, but like,
yeah, his defensive value is so strong.
His defensive value is so strong, and they have no other lefties. You know, like that lineup is like
everybody expects this. Like every single person in this lineup should have better rate stats than they did last year. It's crazy. Like I don't know what happened in Toronto, but
the park.
Every projection system,
the park.
Every projection system expects the rate stats for these Blue Jays to increase, which would increase their fantasy outputs as well with runs and RBIs, as you would expect. I mean, I'm not saying that Varsho's a great pick by any stretch, but there's not a lot of FUD there other than just the player himself, I guess.
Right. He's giving you 25 homers and he's giving you 20 steals. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe not. Maybe 18 now. 17,
That's
16.
reasonable. I mean, that's reasonable. Yeah. He can.
He plays good defense, and they have no other left-handed sticks on the team. Who else is left-handed on the team? They got Kevin Biggio, him, and like Biggio's like a fringe big leaguer at this point.
I don't know what it is.
That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about. Yeah, Biggio's not good. Like why do they have so much trouble acquiring left-handed bats? It's Kevin Kiermaier. No. They had to get Danny Vogelbach in there. Like, why are they incapable of? There's a plethora of these guys.
Do we want to play the hits here and put Hayes with O'Neill Cruz, or do we want to take Isak Paredes? MJ Melendez. Okay. MJ Melendez has some backstack potential there too. We just funnel ourselves. Like we start talking and then we just funnel ourselves into the same pirate ass build every time.
You're gonna be so happy whenever this pirate team wins 70 games, but their offense is like
I remember last year, dude. And they get out to this hot start and you shouldn't have faded the Pirates, and then it just ends the exact fucking same way the Pirates season always ends. Nez, I'm so sorry.
It's a brand new ball game, baby.
A couple other notes that I was looking through. Anthony Rizzo said that he dealt with a concussion all last year, and then now he's having like a half decent spring. Michael Harris having a really nice spring. TJ Friedl and Michael Harris's stats in the big leagues since, what was the tweet I sent you? Since 2023 have looked almost identical, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting on the TJ Friedl discount there. Vaughn Grisham not going to be ready for opening day for the Bo Sox, aka the Red Sox. Yeah, I don't know who's going to play second base for them. That's kind of like, I don't know, Rob Refsnyder as like a holdover or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen for them there. But like last year we got swept up in the Grisham in Atlanta one. And then I was thinking like, why are we not drafting Grisham this year when like the playing time's more carved out? And then there goes that opportunity because it looks like he's going to miss a good amount of time.
Speaking of like, why aren't we drafting Grisham? Why aren't we drafting Orlando Arcia?
Yeah, there you go. Same thesis.
We're
the all-star of all all-stars last year.
We're building these Atlanta stacks. Like Arcia is the forgotten guy. Nobody's taken his spot.
Right.
You can look in the minors. You can like Luis Guillorme. Like nobody's taking his spot at short.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, we're on the clock here. I like Paredes, and I just end up clicking his name. MJ Melendez and like take some backstack stuff, or what do you like?
Dude, I mean, I want to, I like Paredes, dog. Yeah. If you want to do Melendez, you can, but
no. Here, give me 1 second. Sorry, there's someone banging on the other side.
All right. Milker saying that there's tennis category on UD. Are we talking drafts? There is a tennis drafts. No slate yet. Interesting. Huh. I wonder what that's about. Good shout. Why Arcia if you can have Alvarez? Because I'm talking about does Francisco play for the Braves? We're talking about Brave stacks here. Ahmed saying Gavin Williams is the other. I don't really get why he's not at 130. He's way too cheap. Gavin Williams is the truth. I'm with you.
All right.
All sorted out.
Williams. I don't know. What if John never comes back?
I'm wondering the same. Like,
poor Tucker, man. Like, I don't know what's up with him, but he started throwing up
again. God damn.
No idea what it is. Didn't have anything abnormal either yesterday. Bizarre.
Buddy.
Yeah. Let's talk about some random back end SPs that I was like asking about.
Yeah, I've got some guys that I have my sights set on that I take ahead of ADP like every time, just because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose out on them.
You like the Kyle Harrison one?
Kyle Harrison for sure.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm really getting on, like thanks to my conversation with Tuma, is Christopher Sanchez.
Okay.
For the Phillies, he is. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you just look at his like Fangraphs page, like, okay, yeah, this guy was really good, and there's nobody there to take his rotation spot. Like, he's probably better than Ranger Suarez, and like they're both lefties. He's definitely better than Taijuan Walker. So the spot in the rotation is definitely there. It's just a matter of how many innings can he throw. Last season, though, in total, over 150 when you include the postseason. All right, a little sneaky Brent Rooker. And all of the underlying metrics for Christopher Sanchez agree that he's legit. If you're going to be somebody that cares about XFIP, cares about, all those expected stats on top of like the BABIP also being normal, everything says Christopher Sanchez is legit. So like I'm in on him. He plays on a good team, probably a lot of wins coming his way, assuming he stays healthy. He's somebody that I'm gravitating towards a ton at the end of my drafts lately.
How hard does he throw?
Good question.
I don't know a ton about him, to be honest. He's doing the NHL draft thing, but he's still jamming with us. Appreciate you, man.
I accidentally typed in Sanchez instead of Christopher without the H, so I got a million pictures. He's fastball, slider, changeup, but I saw reports that he's also adding a cutter, I think.
Okay.
Which as a lefty can be like really, really helpful to kind of like we saw that with Reagan's adding that type of cut as well.
Mm-hmm. And Taijuan's slightly behind, is he not?
Dude, I don't even know what his timeline is, but he's
right.
That was such a waste of money. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he finally got the bag kind of thing. I mean, people have been waiting years for him to break out. I know that all too well. But just to the point of like, this might stabilize their rotation where like, you got Nola and Wheeler and then you got Ranger and Sanchez. Like you put them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're talking about Tyler Meagle in the chat.
Pardon me?
They're talking Tyler Meagle
from hard, man. The Mets.
Mm-hmm. I saw him get drafted in my solo shot this morning.
Okay. I mean, that one's been you've been trying to make that a thing for multiple years now.
I know.
Like, just in general. I queued up some guys. I really wanted McMahon to come back to us. Cowboys took him at the end there, which is unfortunate here. This is going to be a 6-pitcher build, and I think 2 more infield. I say we just tack on Cronenworth here, or we do the pitcher first. You could do Woo.
Yeah, Woo. If not Bryce Wilson, which it looks like he's not here.
Let's do Woo then.
Yeah, I don't see Bryce. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any Tyler Meagle, but
You were talking about Bryce Miller instead of Woo. You said Wilson. That's who you're referring to?
Bryce Miller. Yeah, sorry, I think I said Wilson.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Woo got hit hard the other day, but it was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't like his fault necessarily. Hard to say you got hit hard, but it wasn't his fault. But like,
if it's a guy we like,
around,
then we don't care.
He left. Right. Yeah, exactly. That's our inherent like spring biases. But then like they did he throws 20 pitches in the first and then he leaves and then they bring him back to start the second or whatever with that spring training rule so guys can get work in. That's what they did with him. Yeah. So I think he only recorded like 1 out in the first and then brought him back in, whatever. This is interesting, Julian, adding some context to it that Miguel's throwing harder, which is hard to believe.
Is that possible?
He was always like a 95, 96 guy. And then 2 different sliders, a gyro and a sweeper. Interesting.
He needs to like pick a lane a little bit. Are you good enough to start adding in all these different pitches? Like
because barely cromulent.
That's so funny. And he's got a splitter on top of it. Oh man. I don't know.
Yeah, I do remember this at the tail end. Woo was saying, do you remember the Aaron Ashby love at the end of last year? There was another one at the end of last year that people kept pushing up. People were pushing up the Seth Lugo one at the end of draft season, and that one turned out okay.
It did.
But there were some other guys.
I wonder if we're going to get a Skeens bump since he pitched today and had a pretty decent outing.
Hit another one? Yeah. And hit 102 the other day, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Cronenworth?
Yeah, unless you want to go an outfielder. Oh no, we have 6. Yeah, let's do Cronenworth.
I think Cronenworth and Noda have to be on this team. Don't have to, but I would like
I want Noda
on this team.
I want Noda. Noda gets drafted like nuns, and he's got just as good a range of outcomes as everybody else in the 20th.
I mean, if Noda was an outfielder and Brent Rooker was an infielder, they would just flip.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just kind of like you're making the same bet, but like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get the knock on like Noda's a good hitter. I mean, yeah, he strikes out a ton, but he walks enough to like make up for it. And I don't know, man. I like me some Ryan Noda.
Yeah, I like me some Noda too.
I don't even take Skeens. Well, I do take Skeens a lot, but I have.
You think he starts with the big plug? There's no chance he starts with the big club, right?
I think no, but I think there is a chance. I wouldn't say there's no chance. I would not say there's no chance because I mean their number 5 starters Bailey Falter and like Skeens gave up a home run to Ahmed Rosario today, but he's putting his fastball and slider exactly where he wants them to go. I mean, he's going to have no business being in AAA.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, same thing could have been said about Grayson 2 years ago, though.
Yeah, the Orioles were kind of telling us though that they were like, this guy this guy needs some work, and I think they were just trying to figure out what was going to work well for him. Because he didn't have a good start to the majors. I mean, he got hit a lot.
Yeah, which was the complete opposite of anything he'd ever done before that at any other level.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, let's see here. I like so one of the other guys I was talking about was Nestor Cortez.
Yeah.
Why is nobody taking Nestor?
I know.
Ooh, Mickey Moniak there.
Interesting picks happening right now.
Will Benson having a really nice spring. Might push himself into draft territory as well. Let's do the Noda thing.
Yeah, just take him.
Yeah. Get weird with it. Shoot, that's not what I meant to do. 676 right now, Nez. I'll ask you what you want to do with the last pick. Framer, Webb, Ryan, Perez, Darvish, Wu, Altuve, Cruz, Bogarts, Hayes, Paredes, Cronenworth, Noda, Tatis, Schwarber, Jones, Ward, Bryant, Rooker. I think I got a pick for us.
Okay.
Well, who would you add to this? Let's have a debate here over who you would add to this.
Show me just the outfield one more time.
Outfield.
Okay.
I would Schwarber, Jones, Ward, Chris Bryant, Brent Rooker.
I would probably take an outfielder here, but I'm okay with like, I think all our options are open, but I would probably go outfield here.
Which outfielder would you be leaning towards?
The guy that I take a third of the time that I enter a draft, probably, if he fell.
Matt Wallner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's going to make it back.
Well, I think I got an idea too.
The only person that might have more of one player than I do is Grill Belichick and Jose Siri. I don't know if I think he might have me beat.
Oh, there goes my guy.
Realmuto.
Poorly. Yeah. Little cheeky backstack for Realmuto with Schwarber.
You can still stack Schwarber if you want.
With who? Brandon Marsh?
Uh-huh.
Have you done any Brandon Marsh?
No.
Codify had a crazy tweet about Brandon Marsh about 2 months ago, and it put him, I can't remember what it was. I literally, we'd have to go back and look it up. But it put him on a list with like Ty Cobb and Barry Bonds and like names like that. And it was like a cherry picked stat, but like the fact that he was on the list with them was like insane. I think it was a BABIP stat versus righties or something like this. Let's do the Brandon Marsh. Let's do it. Why not? I take a lot of Wallner as well. We could also do the Dylan Cruz because you talked me into it in a perfect game, but we haven't done it here.
I think Cruz is gonna get play way. Fuck, it's fine.
Brandon Marsh, it is.
That works too.
Wow, Matt saying 53% Jazz through 49 drafts.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yep. Julian added the Orlando Arcia pick there.
He's got 17% Jose Siri. Holy crap.
17% Siri, but then actually has 40% Wyatt and Bryce. Very interesting.
Huh.
As you guys can see, 28 fast drafts done. I got 20, I think, of the slow drafts going right now, and we'll keep trying to keep filling these perfect games as we go. Let's do a little rundown on that one. Read it off at the end there. A 6-7-7. Nez, everybody's favorite time of the show is actually when you review this. Framer, Webb, Ryan, Perez, Erie Perez. There we go. I always get thrown off by the accent. I got to say like both names, like you Brian Wu, Altuve, Cruz, Bogarts, Hayes, Paredes, Cronenworth, Noda, Tatis, Schwarber, Jones, Ward, Bryant, Rooker, Marsh. What do you think?
I think this is a pretty good team. I really like the pitching staff. I really like the infield, and the outfield I think is the biggest question mark that I have on this team on the whole. But getting 7, I think kind of helps patchwork that. Call me crazy. I like this team.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like it too. It's kind of weird to call call outfield a little scary there when we spent our first 3 picks on outfield. You know what I mean? Like we got to teach.
That's my problem.
And Nola Jones. It's like,
That is a
it also
problem.
doesn't feel great at Nolan at outfield. So it's kind of like maybe we should just pick other guys.
Well, that's a problem that I'm like personally like trying to get over and being more comfortable taking 6 outfielders. Because I don't do it a lot right now because for whatever reason I do get like worried about my outfield every time because it's like, well, I don't love like my outfield 4 through 6 necessarily, and I always want to tack on like one more, just one more. So I'm doing a lot of 7 outfield, but I'm like, I hear this little voice in the back of my head, which is like all the smart people on, that do shows in our inner Discord saying like, you're probably only going to use 3 outfielders like
Right.
every week.
Agreed.
Just go with 6, but I can't stop drafting 7 outfielders.
I don't think I've ever drafted 7 outfielders by myself. Yeah. I'm kind of on the other side. I kind of look at like how infielder scoring is and like how I want to fill my flex with infielder and that sort of thing. And I find myself just back stacking like, I don't know, like Chip kind of has a point here. It's like he thinks this is a 5 outfielder build. And it's kind of true because it's like, what does like Brent Rooker and Marsh do for this team comparative to like what you can get in those rounds at other positions, right? As fun as it is to do the Noda and Rooker stack, that's kind of like, what did we forego infield and or pitcher wise in that range? I mean, Eugenio Suarez probably a better bet. Luis Arias probably lead the league in hitting. That's a better bet there. Nolan Gorman, 30 home runs. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. The forever debate that makes drafting baseball so much fun is like we could just all this stuff, and depending on the teams that like you have like or the players you have on your team, like you can debate it till you're blue in the face, right? It's awesome.
For sure.
Great stuff. Some people in the chat alluding to where am I seeing new sports?
It might be in the app.
In the app, in the rankings tab. I don't have my phone, Nez. Do you have your phone?
It was there. I saw tennis. It's only in the rankings. Like there's no contests up. So these are the options for the sports that you can build rankings for. Now we don't have any slates up, so you can't like actually build the ranks. But WNBA, college football, MMA, college basketball.
Okay. MMA doesn't have a player pool yet, but okay. The true sickos are onto something here. Interesting.
And what Rudman gets me really excited. Rudman even said in a tweet, more good things are coming for draft games. So
yeah, and we did have a cryptic conversation on one of the shows, and we're on Twitter there that was some implications for March Madness something this year. So I don't know that maybe this CBB here indicates a contest of sorts associated with that. That could be very cool. Very, very cool. Wow. We are going to have to learn us some hoops of the college variety, man. My knowledge palette it's getting stretched further and further and further. I mean, if I saw NASCAR in here, man, I could start rattling off everything for the people. I could have told you Kyle Larson was going to win a week ago at Vegas, but these ones are going to be crazy.
Yeah,
go nuts.
This is getting nuts. This is getting
Bradley
nuts.
saying he's going to go nuts on WNBA. Lest we not forget that the main head of ETR there, Adam Levitan, once upon a time made a absolute killing in the WNBA streets. That was his bread and butter. So why can't that be us, Nez, on the platform of people here?
Why can't it? I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a ton about MMA. I used to watch MMA like back in the day when GSP was involved, but yeah, I don't know a ton. This is cool though. Yeah, the sweat of a knockout and then like getting a bunch of points for a knockout. Like I don't even know how the scoring system would work. Just getting like 50.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. Let's tie a bow on this one, Nezi, and we're not going to solve the mystery today. I was looking for completed, clicked NBA instead of MLB. Nez, do one quick glance over of the board here, and the people want to know your favorite team that was not ours. Here, Noah's asking who your favorite one was.
I know Cowboys was drafting off of our conversations. They got a pretty nice team, and it's hard
Let's
to
see what Cowboys got
when you're the 101, but
a 7-7-6 build with an anchor outfielder who's not going to play this year named Ronald Acuna. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything goes well today with the MRI. But he loaded up outfield early here and then shut it off at 120. And he took some of the guys we like. He took Naylor there. He did a triple Minnesota stack. He took Ryan McMahon, who we wanted to come back. I took Julian. Although Jacob said in the chat there that he's getting worried about these platoon splits for Wallner and Julian right now. But what do you think about this one?
Yeah, this is probably the winner for me in that question. Sonny Gray discount there is probably a good click, given that it's just a hamstring tightness. We don't really know anything about the injury yet. Christopher Sanchez in there, Nestor Cortez. I mean, it's like they're watching the show.
Yeah, nailed it. Love it. Cool. And then you get the Atlanta stack there. It's something that I don't see a lot of people do here that I think's interesting, that you see it happen the other way, where the Acuna side of the board pushes up Harris and Albies and does like a first 3-round stack there. You rarely see it when in the 4th round or 5th round people push up Ozuna. They try and wait for it to fall back, and then it always gets sniped on the other side of the board by an Atlanta player. So I think that's a very interesting, concept, right?
Right. Yeah, I've actually done that a couple times.
Yeah, smart, dude. Bradley's asking about his team. He wants your official review here, Nez, and then we'll get out of here. Last one, a 6-6-8. Rarely see the 6-6-8, but started with Mookie Betts there, and then built out outfielder late here. Jose Barrios. Is that how you say Barrios?
I just say Barrios. I put the sauce on it.
Erod fought Bueller and Cutter Crawford. Kind of thin at the pitching position there, but some high upside arms for sure. And then loaded at the front end of infield with the Turner and Devers there. You get the Cassis stack. And then a whole bunch of outfield options, a Boston stack and a Minnesota stack. What do you think?
The pitching staff looks a little thin. Just to be very, very transparent. 6 pitcher with Walker in there. That feels a little thin. But I could tell that he has been paying attention to some of the pitcher discourse and using the draft capital buckets and the merging of capital spent versus number of pitchers taken there, and going for the lowest bucket. And that has had success. That had success last year. So being in that bucket that he is clearly in my opinion, can be successful. Now the outfield, that's that's pretty wild. But I mean, getting Matt Wallner at almost Mr. Irrelevant there is always going to get a tip of the cap from me. So he's got some stacks lined up big time. Just a pitching staff is a little thin, but that could be very well what you need. There was, a lot of data that said being in a tier 1 bucket, which is the, not a lot of capital when you consider volume spent on pitcher, had success. So if you want to know more about that, what I'm talking about, SportsViz BJ on Twitter, go there and then find his YouTube channel. Him and Chris, aka Baseball, did a really good breakdown of like how pitching performed last season. I mean, anytime you get those two together, like Data Wiz, 2 Data Wizes there, going over really good visualizations. That was an awesome show. I highly recommend people check that out. They really dove into some good stuff last year. Again, it's just like results based on last season, but I mean, you can kind of take some pieces of that and apply it to this season.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I like it. I probably would have just taken the Leody Tavares pick, taken Wallner there, and then used the last pick on a 7th pitcher instead of an 8th outfielder. That's probably my only note on the team. I like what you said. Cool. All right. Let's tie a bow on it, Nez. We will be back tomorrow with something behind the paywall. We'll do some ranking stuff in the morning there. Are you going to do that for Hoops?
Oh yeah. We'll be here in the morning getting up some shots in the gym. So come hang out with us if you're not a member.
Okay, cool. So we will do Nez in particular. We'll do some ranking stuff tomorrow. I might do a live before lock kind of steal thing, a drafting before lock tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Then we got off and on the clock with Pete. We'll talk some football stuff on Wednesday. Thursday, a behind closed doors thing, and then Friday we will be bringing on T-Box for a special surprise and talk to the man from Mount Rushmore himself. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, that notification bell before you guys leave. Goes a long way for us. We'd love to keep coming back. And shout out to our guy Nicholas, who dropped us a super chat earlier. So wish we could have provided a little more context, but that stuff's coming, and it's coming from the Underdog side for North Carolina. That's kind of all we know. We don't have a peek behind the curtain on that one. Cool. All right. Best of luck to everyone in the hoop streets tonight, the puck streets as well. And for Nez and I, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.
See you in the